Hi, it's Mobb Guppy, where the Guppy is the mob. Welcome. Here's Bolo, my Fishroom companion. School, school. Vikings gonna beat the Packers on Monday Night Football. All right. Hey, welcome to the live stream. When you arrive, please let me know you're here, and love to know what's going on. We have started doing this Saturdays at 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Turbo Fish, absolutely. Griffin Fishroom, what's up? So Turbofish, the first one in here. It's all good. So I've been doing. Let's see, I did a nice big water change on my 55 this morning. I've been doing worms. For any of you that do worm cultures, if you've never done worm cultures, I'm going to give you the negative of worm cultures right now. Even before they crash, they. Oh, you're. Oh, you lost a fish. That's terrible, turbo fish. Yeah, I did a 10, actually probably about a 15% water change on my 55, and nobody's died yet. But I will tell you, I started a water change. I did about a month ago. All of a sudden, I had it's it just went nuts. And by the way, that may not be a bad doing the worms on dog food. I do it with oatmeal. And here's what's going on with this is that as those cultures get older, they really begin to smell. And I realized, even though it was still producing worms, that I needed to. I'd already set up new cultures. Actually need to set up more new. I need to do it once a week, and I'm doing it every couple of weeks. Well, here's the deal: when it gets close to the end, they smell like death. Oh, it's a canister filter. Okay, you see, I haven't used that. If I decided to become food for the kitty, yeah, staying in the water is pretty good. Pretty, the only canister filter I have, because it's just I only have one a larger aquarium, is a Marineland, and I don't know why people complain about them. It works great. My fish aquarium is very healthy, very happy. So it's all good. So it's I have something kind of exciting happening in the fish room. I got started rebuilding my fish room, adding fish in August. And some of the first fish I purchased, even before Guppies, because I had the 55 set up first. Um, yeah, the Marineland canisters, I have no issues with them whatsoever. Fluval, everyone, the snobs all go on and go, Fluval. Is it any better, really? Do they last any longer? Really? I don't know. I don't think so. But they're expensive as hell, and I'm cheap. So I got these super red plecos, and let me tell you something. It was a real good decision to get these. Um, so I got 3 at a fish show, and I got 2 more from Michael's Fish Room. And I am now getting breeding behavior. I have a male captaining one of the caves I set up, so I'm pretty excited about it. I don't think that he's not spending long times in there. He's just going in, kicking things out. Like there was a snail at the front of it. He was booting that out, and a couple of shrimp. Just going from there. Just one more fish with Josh. What's up, Mob? Hey, well, I'm glad you're here. And yeah, the Popeyes chicken sandwich, I had the regular one. And again, that's what we do on this live stream. We just chase rabbits the entire time. We go right down the hole. The best way to describe it is that the breading is like the breading you would have on fish. If you were having like breading on a bass or it's much more of like a cod or a flounder. It's sort of like that. It was fine. I understand the spicy's better. I've not done it. And maybe that's maybe I'll do that here in the next week or so. I'm trying to keep away from fast food as much as possible. In fact, today after the live stream, I'm going to go to the gym for the first time in like 6 months, and I'm a member of Planet Fitness, and no, they don't subscribe. They don't. They're not paying for that mention, but it's $10 a month. So when I had my gallbladder ripped out, I couldn't do anything for like a month or so, and then I've just been so busy. And if you have your gallbladder removed, anyone who's had that done, it takes a while to get better. My digestion is still not great. In fact, after the beginning of the year, I'll go get my physical, and I probably gonna have to see a specialist because just occasionally my stomach is just cramping away. So that's sort of the name of that tune. So my Super Red and Sistrus Plecos, I now have one male who seems to be captaining the ship and keeping everything. He booted a snail out of there. He booted a shrimp out of there. He's guarding it. So maybe there are eggs in there. I don't know, but he's not spending a lot of time. It's and I got like I have 5 caves in the aquarium, 2 small, 2 sort of medium, not quite medium size, and a bigger one. And when I ordered these originally, hey, Pammy, and from your gallbladder removed, Pam, 54 punchy in the house. Yeah, it's I'm much better than what I was. I'm still adjusting to it. I find I have to have snacks with me at all times because all of a sudden, when I start to get hungry, it begins to hurt. If I don't have like a snack with me, I begin to make bad food choices because the bad food choices going on from there. I call it the reverse Nickelback. Everyone says they suck, but once you're in the car, no one's around. Oh, that's funny. So, and by the way, the whole Nickelback thing, they're fine. It's not extraordinary music. They're not a bad band. They put out some pretty good songs. The lead singer is such a jerk that that's the deal. It's he's such a Guido, and I guess I shouldn't say Guido because of the good Guidos. But he's a naco. That's us Mexican Spanish, by the way. The word naco is Mexican Spanish for the Mexican version of a redneck, naco. So it's I got that down. And your American Mexican friends may not be that familiar. But if you meet somebody who is a Mexican immigrant and you tell them you call yourself a naco, they're gonna laugh like there's no tomorrow. It basically means redneck. So it's it's all good. So a little Spanish language lesson for you. So yeah, so I got rid of my 2 older cultures for worms. They were smelling like death. The 2 are up here. I'll feed off of them today. I'll set up a new couple. I've got to go to the dollar store to get more plastic things for the cultures going on from there. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm really, really excited. It's been a really kind of a great week. I have more shrimp than I know what to do with. I'm going to have to really get into the rhythm of beginning to sell online. because I've got Guppies plenty and more Guppy tanks going up. I'll finish setting these up today, and I'll put fish in them. Probably on Christmas Day if I think it's right. And so I'll put fish in there on Christmas Day. I'll set up, 4 sets of trios, uh, 2 trios of the Roebuck Reds and 2 trios of the different strains of swordtails I have. And I'm just loving my swordtails. I can't even just tell you how much I love them. And I love the Delta tails. I love my Roebuck Reds. Are gorgeous. But there's just something really, really intriguing about those swordtails. And the colors are pretty incredible. The other thing that's going on, in the fish room is that this week I'm going to be buying a house. And so this week I got a realtor. I got approved for a mortgage. So Tater Salad, good evening. Welcome by. What's going on in Denmark? Oh, you're modding on Mark's fish tanks? Yeah, we're going to have fun. No, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you jumping in. So, yeah, so I'm going to have to figure out how to sell these things online because I'm going to have a bunch of super red plecos. I think I'm going to probably, probably in about, 3-4 months, I'm going to have a bunch of those for sale. And then I'm going to have to start selling guppies and shrimp. And the guppy tanks I'm setting up are going to be able to have shrimp in them as well. And so I'm setting them up in a way. So, hey, Big J's Fish Keeper, welcome. Welcome to the live stream. Great having you here. So, yeah, I'll tell you what. I was thinking, I have like a gift certificate for the wet spot, and I was thinking of getting a longfin super red, but now that I've got these breeding, I think that may be a bad idea. So I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with my gift card to wet spot, and I may, I don't know, do they sell shrimp? It's I'm like being run over again by shrimp and guppies and all sorts of good stuff. So yeah, the force is flowing through the fish room. It really is. We have there's so many good things going on with it, and I'm so happy with with what's going on exactly with the fish seem to be and the shrimp are reproducing. I mean, it just couldn't be any better. It just could not be any better. So I've got more well, I think I'm either going to do the yellows or I'm going to do the blue dreams. And I haven't quite figured that out yet. I have the fire reds, and I'm going to spread the fire reds into into 1 or 2 of these new tanks I have up. And I have in my 55, I've added up 80 of them. Hey, HC Agua Jesse, good morning. In lovely Hawaii. So our buddy Fish Keeping Jamaica, Raleigh, he asked me a couple of months ago to record this, and he was asking me last week when I was going to do it. So I recorded up a video, and he wanted to know about cultures and fish keeping. Is it by race? Is it by? And I think it all goes to water cultures. And I think the idea is of the type of fish people are attracted to, is based on around those water cultures. So that's our idea. Chewy, what's up? Welcome to the live stream. And one more, you have the blue dreams and you love them. One more fish with Josh. Yeah, that's yeah, I like that a whole lot. I think they're really good looking, so I don't know exactly what I'm going to do there with them. There's a fish that I want for my nano tank, which is the 55, and I may have to wait till after I move. And because I am, I am into some of these in some of the fish and all that sort of stuff. So there's the Dawn Tetra or Brass Tetra or Gold Tetra, depending. I've heard it called all those different things. It's a gorgeous fish, and it does not breed well in captivity. It doesn't keep the color. It doesn't keep the gold color. So but they're gorgeous to look at. Absolutely gorgeous to look at. See, I just got a fax from my, not a fax, I got a text from the office. The office started having computer issues. And, so it's like, in my office, you know how these things with office computers and servers and all this sort of stuff, they're up running 24/7, even if people are not in the office. And all of a sudden, if something isn't working right, even though something isn't working right, and so so I was on the phone with somebody, with a couple of different people, and I took a look at it, and I found the problem. I didn't have to go to the office. I went from there. Hey, Melvin's in the house. Hey, welcome, Logan. What's up, Ambus Aquatics? Yeah, I said gold tetras. Yeah, it's when I move into my house in April, I'm gonna do those. Do you occasionally get those in, Logan? If you do, I'll buy them from you. And by the way, speaking of my corridoras, I actually am getting breeding behavior with the corridoras, and so I've never bred them, so I'm gonna have to figure it out. But it looked like I was getting some pretty exciting breeding behavior today. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait, Logan, until I get into the new place because it's I'm 4 months away, 4.5 months away from being in my forever home, like like a rescue dog. I'm gonna be in my forever home. Yeah, absolutely, Melvin. Glad you made it. Glad you made it. And so it's just a ton of fun. So I'm gonna learn how to ship fish. I'm gonna learn how to do a couple of different things. Um, the assassin snails, by the way, and see Logan and Ambus Aquatics if you want some of those. I'll tell you what, the amount of snails has gone down dramatically in my aquarium. And yeah, I'll tell you what, I saw the realtor this week. And so here's what I'm after. I'm after a 3-bedroom house. 1 bedroom for me, 2 bedrooms for fish, complete basement for fish, living room for fish. You know how it goes. And I'll have to set up sort of a man cave in the basement. And I'll set up a TV down there and watch the game while doing stuff with the fish. Good times. And so I'm really excited about the whole process of getting into a house. So in January, I'm going to start looking real feverishly with the realtor, and hopefully I can make the offer. Around Feb 1 to close. To close. April 5th or something like that, and I'll move all my personal stuff over there, and I'm not going to move the aquariums right away. I'm going to set up aquariums. I'm going to set up new aquariums, new racks. and then move over the fish, then rip these aquariums down, and then move them over as the last thing I do, and I'll have like 3 weeks to do it. So pretty exciting, pretty exciting all the way around. But yeah, it's my snail issue is down, um, which is one of the things I've been trying to do. I am going to go to the gym today and enjoy that. Um, let's see what else is going on. I don't know. I'm expecting one more delivery for 4 more aquariums set up. My filters have not arrived yet, so they should be here any day now. They arrived in the U.S. Last Monday or Tuesday, so they've already cleared customs. They came in from China, so Diet Dr Pepper to you. So that's a good. You hear that noise? That's my. I have a ring because all of a sudden in my neighborhood we had some vandalism, and so with people down the road from me, and so yeah, I have. I went out of my way to get a ring so I can just monitor because it's just me here, and my landlords were doing like they're going to every townhouse in the complex, and they were going in to spray for vermin. We talked about this a few weeks ago. I'll tell you what, with the ring, it's like the best. If you haven't gotten a Christmas gift, for those who are married or for yourself, get it. And here's the cool thing with it. So all of a sudden I hear people are out front the day that they're coming to my door, and I start talking to them. It freaked them out. So it's going from Cody-san, how are you? Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. Great having you here. And enjoying the wonders that we all have here today. So I think I have super red pleco babies soon. So I think that's good. Lurking is good. Yeah, I have to figure out. I can't wait. I'm after sort of a thing when I get into this house. I was in the realtor. I don't need an expensive house. I don't want to be house poor. So I want, a basement, 3 bedroom, 2 baths. Living room is fine. Hey, thank you very much, not Nola Jane Fish Rich. Thanks for being here. Really love having you having you here for our. This is our new time. Scott and Liz wanted to do the time that I was doing on Saturday, and and I was not able to do it every week because one fish club I go to, their meeting is on Saturday nights anyway, so I figured move it up. And Scott and Liz, I love them; they are the best. So and I think the world of them. So yeah, that's what we did tonight. I don't know. I'm gonna be like lurking on theirs mainly because there's football and boxing on tonight. It's like sports-o-rama. So it's and football's sort of my jam. I love basketball as well, but it's the NBA. I just generally really get interested around playoff time. Around playoffs, I'm there. But football is sort of my deal. College football, pro football. I'm watching it constantly all the weekend. In fact, I will tell you, when football season ends, I'm not going to know what to do with myself. I mean, I've been just locked in on it. So, yeah, so that's sort of the deal right there. Hold on a second. I got to blow my nose. So hold on. I'm going to silence this. Okay, thank you very much. It's allergies that are going on. I took my allergy pill. I should have done it before, earlier today, but I didn't. All of a sudden, my nose started to run, and I silenced it mainly because I didn't want to blow my nose and have you guys hear it. How polite am I? Huh? So yeah, so I've got my Corys. I've got breeding behavior. Um, I really should try breeding the celestial pearl danios and the leopard danios. I really love those. I've got all these guppies. In fact, I may get to the point with the guppies that because it's funny with the swordtail guppies, I'm getting I think I'm getting about 70% male right now. On my Roebuck Red, on my Roebuck Reds, Delta tails, I'm getting almost all females. I mean, I'm getting almost no males. Don't ask me why. Same water conditions, same temperature, the same everything. So it must be just one of those things. They'll probably change around. So I'll figure that out as time goes on, and get that in place. But it is kind of funny how that works, isn't it? In my world, I would like to get I would like to get everything come out in a trio, one male to two females. Snakeheads, yeah, I'll tell you what. It's now in Canada, do they have the snakehead problem that a lot of the that are invading a lot of the waterways in the United States, the lakes in the United States? It was I found out, by the way, invasive species, by the way, are I mean it's a nightmare. It really is. Invasive species do so much damage to our native fish populations. Also, they do a lot of damage to I think it's Lake Malawi. They released the peacock bass in it, and it's damaging, really damaging Lake Malawi. I believe I think it is Lake Malawi. And invasive species, whether it be a plant or whether it be a bird, whether it be a fish or an animal, creates all sorts of issues. It was Malaysia. Okay, well that's good news. Well, the waters in um, I'm in Missouri, and I understand some of the lakes here have issues with snakeheads. Obviously, big in Florida. Florida has all the crazy animals and the people, and there's lots of fun going on there. Then what's the Chewy? What's the fish that was introduced into Lake Malawi, or maybe it was Lake Tanganyika that was released so people could fish as a food source fish for the native populations that started taking out the cichlids. Okay, only the northern. Okay. Johan, what's up? Welcome to the live stream. Great having you here. Saturday hangout. And again, I hope you guys have a great day coming up. I have all sorts of stuff going in from you know, all sorts of stuff going on through the day. I ate lunch right before I did this. I had a vegan General Chow's vegan meal. It was good. Almost Sunday, huh? And where are you again, Johan? My mind is just it's are you in Deutschland? Land of my forefathers? Um the Netherlands, that's right. That's right. All those wooden shoes and flowers and windmills. Yeah, I do. It was a gift from Um, it was a gift that I received from my ex-mother-in-law, and I actually just traded in the shirt. Daryl Deemer in the house, welcome. So it's yeah. So what's going on? Um, yeah, with my guppies, I'm getting. I think with my swordtails, I'm getting 60% male. I don't know why. I just am. Now I do have something happen this week, and I don't know if it's the fry or not for it. I may have to wait for the next drop. I met up with I received a pair of half red blonde cobra guppies that come from Asia. It's an Asian strain because it's not very big. And I got that from Michael's Fishroom. Michael sent it to me. It was very, very cool. Well, the female died. So I put a couple of swordtail females in with him. And I have fry. And I think the fry are from, maybe from one of the siblings of them. I think I'm going to have to wait for the next drop to see. And what I'd like to get is the had half red cobra swordtail. I think that'd be really neat. So let's see what happens. Let's see what comes out here. I'll know. It just dropped the fry this week, and I should probably take a look on my older videos. Well, let me take a look right now and see if I can date it out. And maybe these are his. I don't know. Let's take a look. So the swordtail coloration is really great. I think one of the things that that people don't have a lot with the swordtails is breeding the same color true. And one of the complaints about swordtails, and I have not found this with the strains that I have received. I have found the stream or the I have found that I'm getting all swordtail males. I have not had a male form that doesn't get a swordtail. Sometimes it takes a little while, but yeah, that's sort of the deal. So it's so that's sort of the thing that I have going up, and let's see here. Well, this may be over a month. They may be this fish. I'll have to actually look at the videos because, of course, I don't have it labeled properly. I have them with something riveting on it, but yeah, this very well could be. But I have a bunch of baby guppies. I mean, just a bunch of them. No, okay, I see it. I set it up like 3 weeks ago. And so yeah, this is not the fry from them. It's from a full sibling or a half sibling. Chewy, you're absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. And I would love to. And again, one of the things I would love to get um, the these Roebuck Reds and get an all red, a dynamic red swordtail. Now I have this male that I'm setting up in a new tank with a couple of females, and he is, he's like a dark purple, luminescent, gorgeous fish. So it's I'm going to see if I can develop that into a line where all the males look just like him. That's one of the things what I'm trying to do. Trying to get that all organized. You know, I've read these genetic books that go through it, and a lot of times there's just tail and body genetics. I think we have pretty good understandings of it, but it may be, it's and I guess at ATFG, the guys in Asia who come up with these great strains. You have to think they've been trying to pull that off. The half black swordtail. You just think they would have been trying to, and because it would be it would be stand out. Um, so yeah, so I've got lots of baby guppies. I've got every tank I have set up with guppies, including. Here's the deal: my 55. Yeah, I should ask Alan Bias about that since that's where I got my fish chewy. Um, so I have the 55. I have you know a bunch of males, and I put like 3, 4 chaser females in there, and I probably should put a couple more because there's just so many males in there, and the females are being chased around constantly. And well, one of the bigger of the females in there dropped some fry, and let me tell you something. Um, the leopard danios aren't picking them off. I've got 10 fry or so in there, and they're swimming around with everybody else. They're not being bothered at all. But I do feed well, so it's I feed 4 or 5 times a day. And see, I for breakfast today I fed a cube of Daphnia to the bigger tank, and I took like 3 cubes for the 8 smaller tanks. Yeah, Alan Bias on his website, and there's like there's a web page for scientific papers. I think it's called academia.edu. And I've read several articles on there and about guppy genetics and fish genetics. They're really fascinating. Hey, big city bettas, what's up? Welcome to the live stream. 13 here, 12 likes. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. So Bolo's very happy today because I'm going to be home most of the day. When we're done with the live stream, I'm going to disappear for about uh, about an hour, hour and a half. I'm going to go to the gym and run a quick errand. I've got to get for dinner. I'm going to be. I've got that here. I don't need to pick anything up. And I've got a big cucumber to cut up a couple of big slices for the Amica Splendens tank and for the Amica Splendens tank, and also for the Pleco tank. So it's all good. Well, Big City Bettas, I'm glad you could catch a live stream. I really appreciate it. Great having you here. It's terrific. And by the way, if any of you have not subscribed, please subscribe. It helps out, and I really appreciate the likes. It's really good stuff. So the process of getting the of getting all these fish aquariums running right and all this sort of stuff, and then the process of moving. In fact, today I'll go to the gym, and the gym is conveniently next door to Home Depot. So I'll walk over there just to look at racks, and I'm going to try to set up one of these racks that I can do like 10 or 12 10-gallon aquariums with the guppies, and get that up and running. Yeah, what's the name of the guy, the Japanese guy who has come up with so many strains of primarily small guppies? I think they're almost endlers. Is it Tanaka? What's the name of that guy? That guy, you know, I hear people talking about that guy's fish, pretty with reverence, and it'd be interesting to know what he does because he's developed a lot of different little lines. of stuff. And I think Japanese blues are his. So it's developing these lines, developing the strains. The people who went out and developed the Moscow strain, fascinating. How they got that to happen. Excuse me. Oh, Ginga Aruba was Tanaka strain. Yeah, but he's done other stuff. Tanaka's, and again, it's what you read on the internet, which sometimes is really true and sometimes is not. Um, but I have seen people on Aquabid saying they're selling, a couple of different types of Tanaka strains. So it's all good. So, yep. So my hours have changed. So I'm getting up like I get up at 4 a.m. every day. And Bolo, the Wonder Dog, that's his schedule now. So this morning at 4, I took him out for a walk. I gave him his medicine, climbed back into bed, and he was having nothing of it. He wanted me to get up. So I got up, made some eggs, did junk around the house and get all that sort of stuff. No, I understand that it was developed in Russia, but the idea that the genetics that went into that, just absolutely, um, the the genetics and the idea that went into it and how it was pulled off and how they came up with so many different color variations on the Moscow, and that if you cross a Moscow into the other line, you get a metal head, and it's fascinating. It's I'm an amateur, very amateur genealogist, and I'll tell you that I am, really, really, I really, really, really love um, the different types of guppies, and the one thing I've noticed about bettas and big city bettas, you can probably answer this for me, um, is that uh, generally when you go out and purchase uh the fittage is sort of the consistency that getting what they'd say in the guppies as like a pure strain is sometimes not that easy in bettas, if I have it right from what I have read. And a lot of it has to do with the process of getting the fins right. If you're doing the placket, the placket crown tail. So it's fascinating. So I went and going out and developing what I'm trying to develop here. And my point of view on this, and some people may disagree with me on it with guppies, is that if I'm out developing a strain, if I do any type of cross, I have a goal in mind. Here's what I'm trying to do. And and what I'm doing with the cross that I've already made here, I have the idea of what the goal is. And I'm gonna have 2 or 3 tanks of the fry. And hey, Zen Ginger. No, you didn't. We're here for another 20 minutes or so. Perfect. You arrived just in time. Yeah, sip of this. And so that's sort of the deal. Don't be grumpy, big city bettas. Don't be grumpy. It's all good. Just think how beautiful it is. We have a deep breath. Every day is a wonderful, beautiful thing. And I get some days I'm in a bad mood too. But you just have to get over it, and I just try to get past it. But there are some days I think that's with all of us. We get into a terrible mood, and so that's something to keep in mind. Um, but my idea is that you have a goal in mind when you're breeding fish. It's and the goal is Greg Sage, who he's a breeder of a lot of really cool fish, a lot of bears, Odessa barbs. Um, with the Amica splendens, he's bred them to have more color, and so I'm going to follow his thing. I'm going to keep the most colorful for future breeders. That's what I'm going to do. Just follow from there. And with the guppies, is that pick out the biggest females for the breeders and the biggest males, and that have the right coloring, especially the males. Swordtail guppy females have no coloration. The one thing I've noticed is that the swordtail the swordtails come out. One of the strains comes out. Some of them are gold bodies, and some of them are gray bodies. The male that I want to breed, he's a gray body, so I'm going to put him in with gray body fish. And the Germans, yeah, that's it's going from there. I'm hoping, and I'm going to write the Gateway Guppy Club show is about 5 hours away from me, and it's in. Let's see, when is this? It's probably gonna be the weekend I'm moving because that's just the way it works. So I'm taking a look right now at the date and show schedule. Well, I'll be in my new home hopefully for about 12 days at this point. So hopefully I'll have aquarium set up, and I'll still be in my rental place as I get everything moved over. So I may go up to that, and hopefully Alan Bias will be there. I'll check with him to see if he's going to be at the Gateway Club because I'd like to sit with him and pick his brain a little bit. And when you're at those events, you can pick people's brains. Some of those folks, if you email them a question or if you call them on the phone, sometimes they're a little protective. But if you get them where they have to look you in the eye, Doug Gray will tell you what's going on with his fish room. He'll explain what he does. He's very open. Stephen Quartler is pretty open. Some of the, it's, I've purchased, fish from Alan Bias, but I've never spoken with him. So that's, so that's sort of the deal. Amateur Aquatics, welcome to the fish room. Let me put up here, 1 second here. 1 second, I'm going to share a link with you. And here is Alan Bias's website, which is really a cool website to go and look at. He really is sort of the guy on that variety of thing in the United States. It's if you like sword-tailed guppies. Now he basically has mostly single swords. He doesn't have a lot of double sword, but again, it's just he just has just unbelievable gorgeous fish. So I have he sent me the blonde Zabrinus bunt swordtail, and then he threw in I think what he sent was the the Vienna Emerald to me. And so, and again, they're just absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I really, really love them. I think they look great, and so I appreciate it very much. So you'll want to go in and take a look at what he does if you're interested in guppies. With the bettas thing, when I get into the house, I may do some bettas. My big fear, big city bettas, is that I'll all of a sudden have 50 jars throughout my place. Yeah, Chewy, here's the deal. The one thing we all want to stop, but you can't stop, is time. The one thing we can all do. Oh, Bolo's coming over. Want to sit in my lap? Come on, have a seat. Here's Bolo, everybody. Are you a good boy? Huh? So yeah, my dog has it going on. He's rightly spoiled. Yeah, I will tell you, uh, Big City Bettas and the Zen Ginger. You guys are my fish club. Yeah, we're here. We support each other. Um, that's part of the fun that it is that we get to do. We get to share what works and we get to share what doesn't work. And I'll tell you is that I've been on a real run where things have been working well, but I know that 6 weeks from now or a year from now, something will go bad, and that's just the way it goes through. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Chewy, is that speaking about how times change, from music to whatever that is. Um, the more you experience, the more that you experience that is quote unquote a good memory, or what you believe is a good memory, or a good experience in your life. It's very, very easy to look back on it and become nostalgic over it. And what I have learned is this, and I think that is that nostalgia has its place. I know people that music, or what they enjoy with art or what have you, ends at a certain time in space. Anything that's happened after it's not that good. I love music. I really enjoy music, and I'll tell you what, great music is being made today. um I enjoy 21 Pilots. I like the Arctic Monkeys. I like Mumford and Sons, the Lumineers. There's a lot of good stuff. And sometimes people say, well, don't you think it's sort of uh, sort of a rehash of older stuff? Well, what do you think? The Beatles at the beginning of their career, they essentially were covering American blues bands, the Rolling Stones. Very derivative. But they developed their own sound and their own ideas. And that's the beauty of the art. The beauty of the art. Yeah, it's Miss Candy on John's live stream tonight. Yeah, I'll probably miss that too. Trust me, my new hours have got me. Uh, and my new hours have me into the thing where it's like, I'm when you wake up at 4 a.m. every day, It's, you get to like 9 p.m. and you're burning the midnight oil because it is the midnight oil. Because if you need 6 hours of sleep, I need 7 hours. I've got to be, if I'm getting up at 4, I've got to be asleep by 9. Just has to be. And I do not function well on less than 7 hours. And I also do not function well if I have like 12 hours of sleep. It, yeah, well, it's my problem with music. Here's the one form of music that I have had my fill of. Uh, I can only handle so much EDM. It's just there's only so much EDM I can handle. And there is some that's very good, but a lot of uh, a lot of the EDM stuff. For instance, I have like a CD. I actually owned CDs, and I actually have them. I now don't have a way to play CDs because my stereo got stolen. It was in storage when I was moving. Um, so I have in my computer. I have a brand new laptop, and my laptop doesn't come with a CD player. No data player, no nothing. It's not necessary apparently anymore. Everyone just downloads it. So, I have like Fat Boy Slim. I have some Moby stuff. I have, various things with that style of music. I really like it in many ways, but it's become so repetitive. Yeah, CDs are a way of the blast, Chewy. Absolutely correct. That that you go through. I just, I now have uh, I have. I'm guessing I have about 400 CDs, from over the years, and now everything gets played off of Alexa. Alexa, play Mumford and Sons. Shuffling songs by Mumford and Sons on Amazon Music. Alexa, turn off. All right, don't want them to, but it's just, yeah, everything's off of a streaming service. It is what it is. And hey, by the way, Vinyl Chewy is coming back. Vinyl, in fact, it was I read somewhere one of the biggest selling albums this last year came out on vinyl. Yeah, I'll tell you what is that I do a lot of audio production. That's basically what I do for my living, and I I've worked with Pro Tools. Um, I've been in studio with people on Pro Tools who are producing music, and one of the guys I was in for a couple of days on a weekend once is a guy who has done a lot of the audio production for like Jada Kiss, Mary J. Blige, for Alicia Keys. I've never met any of those people, but this guy does work for them. And I go through and watch, a real pro on that type of sound stuff. Really good. I don't do anything that sophisticated. It's I'll do the audio production I end up doing is I do a lot of TV and radio audio production, voiceover, and generally my stuff does not get beyond 5 or 6 tracks. Um, you're producing, and by the way, some people with music producing these days, they try to minimize the amount of stuff. Well, it's I had somebody in my life that was a record producer, and here's how my late father-in-law was a record producer, and for a long time, like 40 years of doing it. And here's how this has changed is that it used to be a musical group would go into the studio and they may know what songs they're doing, but they want to create. So they can spend, 6 months in the studio, and the record company used to pay for it. Well, the record company doesn't pay for much anymore. They really want you to pay for it out of your own pocket. So it turned in my father-in-law would go into the studios, and he would go into studios with all the parts written, um, musicians hired, all the musicians read music, and one day was the recording of the drums, next day bass, rhythm guitar, lead guitar, horns, all that sort of stuff, keyboard. And and the last thing they would do is vocals. And the vocals, they could get the entire record recorded in a week and at least have the elementary mix down. Then they would do the vocals. And you have lead vocals, backup vocals, it's and it would just take a while. And well, a lot of stuff gets done on pre-production, but if you want live musicians, that's but he would go in with with sheet music with every part written, so boom, ready to go, knock it down. So it's very interesting to watch. And but I've been in some of the studios. Uh, I was in Michael Morales' studio. The father-in-law did some albums there. I was in one of the hip hop studios in New York, which was great fun. Those guys were. This was a fun studio to go into, and really enjoyed it. So, all right, gang, we've been here for an hour. I've got to go, and I've got to hit the mailbox, and I got to go to the gym and Home Depot to look at racks. We'll see you. I'll have a video for you tomorrow, and on Sunday or on Monday night, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, we'll have our Monday night drop-in. Again, thank you so much for being with me on the thing today. You guys have a great day. No, I'd never been to Lucky Lady Studios in New York. The only studios I'd been in New York was I was in some of the serious ones, and I was also in and it was just kind of it was like Jadakiss and a couple other rappers had done albums there, and it was sort of like in a house in Yonkers. It was pretty interesting. All right, gang, thank you very much. You guys have a great day.